So today we are seeing a slight threat across portions of the plains, Midwest, and even parts of the eastern coast. To look even closer, you can see an enhanced outlook expected across parts of New Jersey, parts of that southern tip of New York, and most of Pennsylvania. So you may be wondering what that is and why we did not do a briefing on it and are not planning to. The biggest threat for that is going to be damaging winds with a storm that's going to be moving through there. It's only going to be one cell that is going to be a big cluster of other cells that will eventually move off into the coast. So it's not really a big tornado threat. So there's only one threat there. So that's why we are not covering it. But looking across, it is going to be a very active day. So interestingly enough, storms today are not moving from west to east. They're actually moving from north to south. So the fact that this is all stretched out across the country means that we're going to have storms forming along that northern line, that marginal line, and traveling straight south. So you can imagine how those storms are going to form, and they'll travel south throughout the day. But the main potential is for squall lines to form, which could allow for damaging winds and other hail threats. Temperatures today are going to allow this to happen. We see temperatures across the nation in 70s, 80s, and even 90s. So definitely a rich environment that will allow for storm development and other stuff to occur. It's going to be a very hot day, so it means that stuff's not going to travel very far south, but it will be able to build and be a lot at once whenever it does form across parts of the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and into the Northeast. So in the morning hours, we are seeing that first threat start to hit that Pennsylvania, New York area. That's our bigger cell. So we'll watch that. It'll be traveling towards the southeast, so towards New Jersey, and that is our big threat right there, that cell. What's going to be happening with that? So we'll follow that throughout the day and see what's going on. So then looking at the afternoon, what we can expect is that cell that was moving through New York is now entering portions of the southern tip of New York, Pennsylvania, and through the Northeast, and that is where our biggest threat's going to be at for potential hail, damaging winds, is through that cell, because that big cell right there is going to allow for some big time output of precipitation at once, so it'll make the environment very dangerous if you're out driving. But looking back across the Ohio Valley and the Midwest, we do see a squall line that could potentially start to form from Illinois stretching clear to Ohio. And this will be traveling south and building towards Missouri, and then it will also build on the Pennsylvania into West Virginia side. So as we get into the night hours, we see that over dinner time a new line has formed. We still see a line that bigger squall line has now split, and it has now divided into the part that is to the east of Ohio and then the west of Ohio. The east of Ohio is going to be a little bit of a weaker system, and it's just going to have some rain along with it, but to the west is where we're going to see the bigger threat, and this can be a big squall line. So we have damaging winds, hail, potential for a quick spin up. And then looking back across the plains, there is going to be some bigger supercells that could form across Nebraska, Kansas, and even parts of Texas. So what we're mainly watching is what's happening with that cell going from basically the Great Lakes through to the eastern coast through Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. So we'll watch that earlier in the day, but right around lunchtime to the early afternoon. Then we start to watch the squall lines forming in the Ohio Valley and Midwest. Keep watching those through the afternoon. Into the evening, we can watch supercell development across the plains. In the overnight hours, we will follow both a squall line and supercell development across the plains. Well, we always remind you to be weather ready, and we hope to see you in tomorrow's forecast.